afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this meeting of the Glenorchy City Council on Monday, the 29th of September 2025. I'm Sue Hickey, Mayor of Glenorchy and Chairperson of this afternoon's meeting. Glenorchy City Council acknowledges the Muwinina people as the traditional owners of this land. We recognise the Tasmanian Aboriginal people as the original owners and continuing custodians of the land, sky and country and waters of this island literally. We pay our respects to Aboriginal elders past and present. We commit to working in a way that welcomes and respects all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Joining me here, in chambers is Alderman Tim Marks, thank you, Alderman Peter Riddler, Alderman Justin Stringer, we have Alderman Russell Yaxley, the Deputy Mayor, Emilio Reali, our CEO, Alderman Stephen King, Alderman Stuart Slade, Alderman Josh Cockshut and Alderman Shane Alderton. Before we open our agenda, I take this opportunity to make a statement about workplace health and safety. The Glenorchy City Council takes workplace health and safety seriously, and this includes physical and psychological safety. We have a duty to ensure that a safe workplace is provided for our employees, our elected members, contractors, volunteers and members of the public who may be present at council workplaces. Council meetings form part of council's workplace, and it is expected that everyone who attends council meetings will behave in a polite and respectful manner. Council has endorsed a statement of intent setting out how we as elected members have agreed to conduct ourselves in representing the people of Glenorchy. In accordance with this, any disagreement will be expressed respectfully, remembering that both during debate and decision making that we are elected to represent and serve the people of Glenorchy and to make our city the best it can be. Finally, I note that this open section of the meeting is being live streamed and an audio-visual recording of the meeting will occur in accordance with the Council's recording of council meetings policy. Members of the public are not permitted to make audio-visual recordings of council meetings. We have 12 items on our agenda this afternoon, and agenda item number 1 is apologies, and we have received an apology from Councillor Molly Kendall. Now, item 2 is confirmation of the minutes. So moved. Thank you, Alderman Slade. Alderman Alderton. Seconded. Any discussion, Alderman Slade?
No, I'm happy to turn out the record of what took place last meeting. Yeah.
Do we have anyone who wishes to add or subtract or change? No. Then I'm going to put that motion. All those in favour, please raise your hand, and it's carried unanimously. We move on now to items and announcements by the Chair. First of all, I just recently managed to have a long overdue period of leave, which I'd be very thankful to the Deputy, Russell Yaxley, for stepping in and assuming the Acting Mayor's role. I'm very grateful for that time, thank you. Last Wednesday, Senator Carol Brown, Andrew Wilkie and myself and various members around the table officially opened the new $13.3 million football soccer facilities at North Chigwell. Doesn't that look grand? This project includes new lighting, refurbished change rooms, new club rooms and improved playing surfaces, helping local clubs grow and giving players and spectators a better place to come together and enjoy the game. The federal Labor government contributed $12.8 million to the project, with the Tasmanian government chipping in $500,000. These upgrades mean more kids having a run on the weekend, better support for women and girls getting into the game, and a stronger future for football right across the northern suburbs. The pool update. Now, as I promised, we would give regular updates on the pool refurbishment. Work continues on the repair and reopening of the pool, with the construction crews currently focusing on the pool shell and infrastructure, repairing cracks and sealing the 50-metre pool to ensure it is watertight and safe. The very unsafe and condemned water slide has been removed. The plant room, refurbishing mechanical and filtration systems to improve performance and reliability are underway. Change rooms, upgrading to modern standards with improved accessibility, updated fixtures and enhanced amenities for users. We'll keep you posted as more changes happen. Now, we have a recycling wall. Just inside the Chamber's front door, we have installed a new recycling system. This gives residents a free and convenient way to recycle items such as bread tags, eyeglasses, mobile phones, light bulbs, batteries, printer toner cartridges, DVDs, CDs, and if you still have them, tapes. To date, we have had an overwhelmingly positive response to the installation of this wall. Our Facebook post alone has received over 115,000 views in the past 5 days. Places of Glenorchy. We have launched a new video series highlighting interesting and picturesque places across Glenorchy. Just look at that, that's beautiful. To date, we have featured the Lost World track on the Kunani Mount Wellington, the Glenorchy Road, Collinsvale, Prince of Wales Bay, and the Myrtle Forest in Collinsvale. You can find these videos on our Facebook page, website, or on our YouTube channel. If you have suggestions of places we should highlight for the series, please email communications@gcc.tas.gov.au or perhaps pick up the phone. Our YouTube channel also features a Park Spotlight series where we highlight and promote our wonderful parks, including Giblins Reserve, Corinda Park, Benjafield and Pelosa Park. Now, if you're a person who likes to dabble in art or in art making, we would love you to share your art at our annual exhibition that celebrates the creativity in Glenorchy. The Glenorchy Open is open to anyone who lives, works or has a strong connection to Glenorchy. You can enter on the Moona Arts Centre website and entries close on Friday the 31st of October. The exhibition will be open at the Moona Arts Centre from Thursday the 13th to 20th of December, and a surprisingly fantastic evening or week actually of exhibition will be you'll be available to see. Glenorchy Views. In mid-October, we will launch Glenorchy Views, a community survey that will explore what makes somewhere a good place to live, how community members experience their local area, and what needs to happen to improve quality of life in Glenorchy. The survey results will provide important input into our planning, social and infrastructure programs, and will shape our thinking in the development of the 25-26 budget. It will be promoted through our social media channels via Let's Talk, and there will be hard copies available here at Council and other community venues around Glenorchy. The anonymous survey will take about 15 to 20 minutes to complete, with the option to go into a draw to win one of 5 $100,000 FPOS vouchers as a thank you for participating. I know.
Buy something for 50,000.
My apologies for that. I always like to think big. I strongly encourage everyone to keep an eye out for this important survey, and once it goes live, to tell us your views. This is really important to us, as you'd imagine. Our next open workshop is scheduled for the next Monday, the 6th of October. At this workshop, we will receive an update on Council's bushfire mitigation strategy and plan, a very important subject, and I do hope you'll join us for that. And you can watch that either come along to Chambers or watch it online. So thank you very much. That completes the announcements by the Chair. Pecuniary interest notification. Do we have any? You do?
8.3, yeah.
8.3. Okay, Stephen King.
The Salvation Army one.
Yes, thank you. Anyone else? No? Item 5 is response to previous public questions taken on notice. And, sorry, where have I got that? Now we're going to move on to public question time. And I have a few notes to read on this. Council meeting is a formal meeting of the elected members elected by the Glenorchy community. It is chaired by the Mayor. Public question time is an opportunity in the formal meeting for the public to ask questions of their elected council representatives about the matters that affect ratepayers and citizens. In accordance with Regulation 31(2) and 3, Public Question Time, Local Government Meeting Procedures, Regulations 2025, Council will allocate 15 minutes during each of the council meetings to invite members of the public to ask questions relating to the activity. And we do have rules, and these rules are that members of the public are to announce their name and residential address before asking a question, which will be recorded in the minutes. Questions will be put succinctly and in the form of a question, not a comment. Questions must not be inflammatory, abusive, defamatory, contain a personal attack, or otherwise breach any rules of the meeting which have been explained by the chairperson. The chairperson may limit the number of questions to give everyone a chance, but I don't think we're going to have that problem tonight. As chairperson, I have the responsibility to maintain a safe environment for elected members and council staff. And with that, I think I can ask.
Yes, please.
Yes, you'd like to come up? All right, thank you, Eddie Steenbergen.
I'm Eddie Steenbergen and I live in Rosetti. Just so I don't forget.
Ask the first test.
My first question is about Council's priority projects prospectus. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. A list of 4 projects that it's put up on a pedestal for grant funding, etc. And I'm wondering how it's actually managed. Now, at the moment, we have the pool repair, replacement, we have a youth hub, and we have Tolosa Park, all of which are well known to the public and have been well discussed. But number 4, which is called the Humphreys Rivulet Path, appears to have appeared without any warning. It appeared in the December agenda as part of the draft prospectus and it was approved. And I'm wondering, what I'm interested in is how this project came into being and how it got into the list.
Surprising you haven't seen it before, because we have had it on the drawing board for some time, but I'll pass it over to the CEO who might want to.
This is the pathway.
Yeah. Yes. Humphreys Rivulet. Yeah.
I think it's the walking trail that you're referring to. There's 2 projects for the Humphreys Rivulet area at the moment. One is an environmental project to do some rehabilitation work and some environmental recovery type stuff, so removing some invasive species, and that was an election commitment at the last federal election. So a bit of a precursor to the walking trail proposal. The walking trail was first, I guess the idea came up prior to 2013, and in 2013 there was a pretty comprehensive study done by, I think it was Pitt and Sherry, and they assessed the whole length of Humphreys Rivulet from the CBD to Tolosa Park to see whether it was feasible, and it is, and costings were done back then, and that was proposed for grant funding some time ago. It probably did sit in a bit of a lull while we had other priorities going on, but we've actually brought it out because our community engagement surveys have told us that a high priority for the community is recreation facilities and tracks and trails. So it came out, we've revised the price, and we've sent it to a number of politicians, and while the federal election was on, we actually sent that to politicians, seeing if there's any appetite to fund it. At this stage, no, but because we know it's high on the community's priority list for tracks and trails, we've left it on our priority projects list.
But how did it get onto the list? I don't understand how this list is managed. Who manages it? Who makes decisions about it? How does it come about?
Thank you, Mayor. We look at what projects we have that are, this one's not shovel ready, but it's not far off it because we've got a lot of engineering assessment and a scope of work. So we look at what might be ready to start in a timely fashion. That one is at that point because we've got a lot of the background work done. So I guess the the senior manager and executive put the project up to see if there's appetite for it. And given that we know it's high on the community's list of things that they would like, we've proposed it as something that should be on the priority list, and it's accepted, and therefore trying to lobby for funding for it because it is a significant cost. The benefits, though, is how we also try and assess projects that should be on that list. Benefits are great because it creates a walking trail through a fairly natural environment. It improves the amenity of that area and provides that link to Tysa Park through active transport means like bikes, walking, rather than having to drive the car up to Tysa Park.
So essentially, council staff discuss it, put it together, and it is brought to council.
I think it also, I think we've had a workshop on it, haven't we?
Yes.
And have we given approval? No, because we don't have the money. So, we have discussed it, and I think we could share those drawings and things, and sketches and details about how it works, if you're interested.
Okay, thank you for that. I noticed in the agenda tonight there was a workshop last week, fortnight ago, about development at the main road near the opposite the Club Hotel. And I was wondering, it's not normal practice for councillors to have workshops on developments. What was particularly interesting and special about that development that made it worthy of a workshop?
Well, I wasn't here, so I don't know whether the deputy would like to talk to that, or the CEO. The CEO, yes, CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. The reason that was brought to a council workshop is because it's more of a multi-storey development right on the edge of the new principal activity centre zoning, and because we haven't actually had a project like that at council, it's probably thought best to talk through it and how it was proposed to go together and what was the tenancies like, how traffic might work around it, and just to give a bit of an overview of the general philosophy behind the project. I mean, there's still a little way to go yet, but it obviously hasn't been fully developed as in the proposal, and hasn't gone through any planning process as yet.
So there's no application?
No, it's just really to talk about the concept. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Right, so tonight's agenda on the proceeds of property disposal. I noticed they mentioned in there $2 million from the deck sale, which has been set aside for pool renovation. Elsewhere we saw that 500,000 of that is for contingencies. What's the other 1.5 million for?
Because you don't get much for 5 million. I'll pass it over to the CEO.
Yeah, thank you. The state government committed $5 million to get the pool up and running again. When we went out to tender, 5 million, exactly what the Mayor said, wasn't quite enough. So council has to make a contribution as well. Plus, it's prudent to have contingency in case we find things under the ground or just little building surprises that often happen. So we need to make sure that we're able to cover those sort of things that might come up.
Okay, thank you. And the last is about the item in closed session tonight about a procurement exemption. What can you tell us about that, and why can't it be discussed here?
Well, there are certain rules and regulations, unfortunately, but so the CEO can address that.
I get that.
Mayor, when there's a contractual matter agreement that might need council to continue to try to put this so we're not actually breaching the closed council rules, but when there's a contractual agreement that we need to keep going with because we're already using a service, if we reach our limit as per the code of tendering, then we need to come to council to get approval for an exemption, so we're not going out to tender again. And in some cases, if we're already using the existing service, we would extend that service because it makes sense, or there's a lot of cost or other work that might be involved in just going out cold and trying to get another service provider.
So is it a legal issue, a financial issue, commercial in confidence issue?
It's not,
Can you,
Mayor, it's a contractual arrangement where the details have to, the commercial in confidence details there, so it has to be closed.
thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, we did receive a couple of questions on notice. One was from, well, actually it's a series of questions from Angela Sturk at Rosetta, and all of those questions have been answered well in the agenda. We also had a question with notice from Eddie Steenbergen from Rosetta, and his has been answered as well. And the final question was from Natalie Larter, President of the Friends of the Glenorchy Pool, asking some questions there and basically about the contingency, and that's been answered as well. Do we have any petitions addressing council meetings?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. Activities of the mayor. Now this is an interesting one because it's only a little bit of me and a lot of the deputy.
Mayor, just, pardon me, just before we go ahead, there's a couple of items that were left off that we're missing, and an updated clarification as well, which I've emailed through to the CEO to add to the agenda.
So it'll be amended next month, or?
Mayor, if I'd like to clarify, I'll take responsibility for this because it looks like we missed some of the appointments that the acting mayor did attend. Pardon me, and some of those, if I'll just quickly go through them, was a media event, the Big Tassie Walk at the Migrant Resource Centre, September 10, a Triple M Mayor on the Air session, which was about pool works beginning, and other discussion points. September 11, a meeting with the Honourable Beck Thomas MLC with myself, and that was talking about the youth hub, proposed youth hub, and September 17th participated in Out of the Shadows Suicide Prevention Awareness Walk, and there was a couple of date clarifications also that the acting mayor pointed out. So on that basis, because the report is to receive a note, we would like to include those items in the report and just confirm them in the minutes.
Yes, that'll be fine. So can I have someone move the amended?
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman Slade. Somebody second, thank you, Alderman Marks. Now, do we have anyone who'd like to ask any questions? Thank you, Alderman Alderton.
Thank you, Mayor. So on Friday, the 22nd of August, we participated in a phone meeting with Andrew Wilkie. As we know, Andrew has been very successful in securing a number of grants and some funding for a number of things around Glenorchy. I wonder if you can share anything out of that phone meeting and whether anything potentially exciting might be on the horizon.
From memory, and I'll have to ask the CEO to correct me, I think we probably could have put a bit more detail in there. I think Andrew was just checking in. He was having a meeting with the Prime Minister of Australia, and he just wanted to check that our current 4 projects were our current 4 projects. Is that right?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, and also to clarify whether we'd applied for any grant funding for any of them previously as well.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? In that case, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Look, now we move to 8.2, the customer service report. Can I have someone move this, please? Thank you, Alderman Cockshutt. And thank you, Deputy. Alderman Cockshutt, would you like to lead debate?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mayor. Look, really positive report from the customer service team. Obviously, we can tell that there was only 48 formal complaints, and all those complaints were handled in line with the council's progress. Some positive reviews is that our official score has gone up from the previous read, which is higher than the industry benchmark. We're seeing at 88.4 compared to 75%. So great job to the guys in the customer service team, and I think it's a great reflection on the work they do day in, day out. They're the people who are at the coalface dealing with any inquiries. So not an easy task sometimes, but I think given the support and the detail, I think we're doing a lot of things right. So to everyone involved.
Thank you. Deputy?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of questions to begin with. I've just noticed with the 48, it's a slight increase in terms of on the complaint side of things. It was more around, some of it was around planning. I just didn't know of the complaints, what percentage have been resolved and moved on, or are some complaints still outstanding? So I was just asking a question around that.
Mayor, I might ask our acting manager about contact and guidance area.
Yes, please.
Through you, Mayor. So there's no outstanding complaints from the previous financial year. So all those complaints have either been contacted or we've gathered more information and solved that inquiry.
Okay, great. That's good to hear. And the other one regarding the customer service strategy, obviously we've reached that end point now. Will those outstanding actions that are there be carried over to the next plan, or how is that managed?
That might be a question for Emilio and myself. So the outstanding actions, most of them are based around the technology. So moving through to ReadyTech, which is like on hold at the moment, to get that customer portal going. So, and the other one that was outstanding was the Cityscape project, building a nice customer service area for the community, was also part of that plan that didn't go ahead.
Mayor, if I might clarify, we will pick up on some of those outstanding strategies with our new core enterprise suite, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
And as far as the Cityscape, which was improvements to our customer service area, as in functionality as well as look and feel, that will probably go ahead in a different, slightly less,
Extravagant.
yes, form. So, yeah.
All right, that's fine. That's good to hear. Yeah, so otherwise, I think in customer service it is a really difficult industry. Haven't been involved for a long time, and these sort of scores are a reflection of the amazing work that our team does from the top through to the bottom, and everywhere, right around the council team. So well done on that, and another strong performance. So proud to be part of it. It's great.
Thank you. Anyone else? Well, I'd like to add too that reading this report, 46,711 customers were served by the phone and front counter. The response or the service level was at 84%, with the average call time at being 39 seconds for waiting to be answered. And the average call centre service time was 4 minutes and 16 seconds. And we get calls on a variety of issues in any one day, including works, animal management, building, plumbing, community development, customer service functions, engineering, environmental health, facility bookings, JPs, other stuff, parking, planning, property, rates and finance, receipting, and waste, and the works. And I mean, that's an extraordinary for a relatively small council. So we've had 11,723 total customer service requests created, with 20,838 articles of correspondence received, with an average of 1.1 days to respond to that correspondence, which is extraordinary. 98.5% incoming correspondence responded to within council's commitment, and we had 3,254 number of callback requests, and I could go on and on. The stats are extraordinary. And here's a very interesting one. I think I'm going to have to go for a new job. The parking officers did 2.5 million steps. That's got to be healthy. We had 6,966 dogs registered, 402 roaming dog notifications, 245 dog barking requests. I mean, it's quite a fascinating report, and I do recommend reading it. Only one thing I'd like to say is thanks wholeheartedly to people who commit and do give what do we say, thanks and nice comments to our staff. We love to see that recognition of their hard work. It's really important. But equally, if you're going to take the time to send us something, a complaint that reads, oh, what did I say? Something terrible. Some of them are not very nice and don't even make sense. They're just silly nonsense where someone's just put some scribble in and it's rubbish. So it's a shame that we even have to deal with those. But I've got to say, all these great gold stars are fantastic to read, and I did read each and every one of them, and I'm very proud of the team. So with that, who moved that one? Was Gordon Cocksher. Would you like to sum up?
Yeah, no further comments. I think we've said everything around the table, so.
Thank you. So I'm going to put that motion. All those in favour? Right, again, carried unanimously. Item 8.3 is feedback from the investigation into the potential disposal, thank you, Stephen, of 314, 316 and 322 Main Road, Glenorchy. Can I have someone move this one? Thank you, Alderman Slade. A second, please. Thank you, Deputy.
Thank you, Mayor. We've had workshops and we had a meeting before on this issue here. If you just read really the recommendation, we've got attachments here across there, tells the whole story of what's happened and what's proposed. But as you read it there, it's all subject to swapping of land, vice versa, between ourselves and Salvation Army. The recommendation actually points out where that would take place, but more importantly, that council form an intention under the Act, of course, 178 to dispose of landlord property underneath the Act, and authorise the Chief Executive to do the same. I've read all the documents. I'm happy that they are true and accurate record of what took place in the meetings and discussions we've had, and I believe it's all in the Act and also in delegated authority for the CEO, so I move the recommendation.
Thank you. Any discussion? Alderman Cocksher.
Yeah, thanks, Neil. I agree with my fellow aldermen's comments. I think we've had obviously this come to previous council meetings and public consultation. I think it's a fantastic outcome for the community, both from a youth level and also for the Salvation Army. So pending everything goes smoothly, pending the successful land slot condition, I think it'll be a great outcome.
Thank you.
Point of order, Mayor. Did we get a second on that?
Yes, it was the Deputy.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Thank you.
And the Deputy wishes to talk.
Thank you. Just to say, obviously, there was obviously some formal submissions provided in the process as well. So obviously our team consider those matters and are satisfied that the objectives of council are still proceeding through with this. So I'm comfortable with it as well, with the next steps proceeding with the process. Again, mutually beneficial for how it works and fit for purpose. So it's going to enable that youth hub facility to move on quicker than what it possibly could be. So looking forward to seeing it progress.
Excellent. Thank you. Any further comments? No, so then I'm going to put it to the vote. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. We'll wait for Steve to come back. We're now moving to 8.4, which is disposal of council land at part of 10 Buchanan Street, Chigwell.
So moved.
Oh, thank you.
I'll second.
Alderman Alderton, followed by Alderman Cocksher.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I'm fully supportive of this decision. Buchanan Community House offer a number of services and valuable input to our community, and this is obviously needed by Buchanan House. They approached us for some land so they could expand their facility and expand their services. I'd like to note that the community appear to be on board. We've had no representation, so nobody is opposed to the Section 178 going ahead. We've put lots of protections in place where if Buchanan House are unable to secure the appropriate funding to expand, the land has a reversionary clause where it will be returned to council. It cannot be used for anything other than a community benefit, otherwise it needs to be returned to council. So I'm more than happy with this decision we're making today.
Thank you. All set. Yes, Alderman.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. I agree with Alderman Alderman's comments then in regards to Buchan Community House. I think it's a great outcome for the community. Obviously, there's been no objections from the public consultation process, and from a due diligence point of view, from a council land, we've also put into the contract clause, should the land cease to be used for those purposes, we can get it back. So I think we've done well there from a safeguarding perspective, but I think this will be a great outcome for the house.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alderman Redler.
So you meant to the CEO, the rider we wanted on the title covenant that if the land is no longer used for community purposes, is to come back to us. Is it going to be on the title?
Yeah, I might clarify that with our acting director. Not sure it's going to be on the title, but I think in
Will
the
it be somewhere in a covenant?
The proposal is to put it on the title.
Sorry, it is.
It's part of the reason why we've used slightly more open wording around community purposes rather than community house, because it's obviously a difficult process once it's on the title. If it's ever so slightly changed and it's not called a community house,
That's all right. As long as it comes back for community purposes, I'm quite happy with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? No, so in that case, I'm going to put it to vote. All those in favour, raise your hand. And again, carried unanimously. Now, item 8.5 is a cultural support statement report, and I'm looking for a mover of this one. Thank you very much, Alderman Marks. A seconder, please. Thank you, Alderman Slade. Alderman Marks, do you want to say?
No, nothing.
Okay, I'll leave it open for debate. Anyone wish to make any comment?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, look, it's something that we feel strongly about as a team, and we wanted to make sure that we had a really clear statement on how we wanted to make sure that our community felt safe. We wanted to lead them in that space, that they feel safe, included and respected. I'll just read the statement. As a council, we are committed to fostering a safe, inclusive and respectful community. We recognise that global events can deeply affect members of our community, and we stand in solidarity with those who are experiencing grief or distress. We affirm our support for peace, compassion and respect for human dignity everywhere. Our role is to nurture, understand, celebrate cultural diversity, ensure that every person feels valued and supported in the community. And it's sends a really strong message that we are all about our community feeling safe, and we stand with them in their stress if they are.
Thank you. Thank you, Alderman Slade.
Mayor, I think it's really good when collegiality rides strong, and this council is certainly really strong on this particular point. It is a support and statement, a cultural support statement, and realistically, it is what all these awful things going on in the world. It's nice to have something locally. We may say, why do we have something locally? Well, people would come over here from from other countries, have trouble getting here. People who are having trouble perhaps in the workplace for different reasons. It gives them comfort to know that there's at least a local government instrumentality like ours that does take some care. It makes a caring statement, uses words like the fact that we don't stand for racism or whatever. So again, I really pleased that I'm one of 12 elected members, or one of 10, sorry. We did have 12 once, but one of 10, and that we're putting this forward to adopt this statement. As I said, this is not a hardcore policy. It's where we stand in 2025, September 2025, on cultural issues, and I think it spells out very clear. And I think it'll get a lot of encouragement, Mayor and fellow Alderman, to our community.
Thank you. Alderman Alderson.
Thank you, Mayor. Look, I'm just going to read from the statement so the community have a better understanding of the rationale around this statement. So clearly, this statement gives us a clarity of leadership, clearly articulating that Glenorchy rejects racism and embraces diversity. Consistency with strategy, directly reflecting the community strategy we developed for 2021 to 2030. It also provides community reassurance, offering solidarity to those experiencing distress. Aligns with activities, provides context for council's cultural programs, and a positive civic identity reinforcing Glenorchy's image as a welcoming multicultural city. I think it's important that the community realise that, and this is why we're going with this statement.
Thank you, Alderman King.
As a concerned citizen, I'd be more than happy to stick this on the back of the sports centre in bold letters or something of that nature, where people need to be able to read it and see it and really promote it. Put it on the multicultural, ask people if they're happy. I know we've got planning issues, there's signage, etc., but surely something like this needs to be blasted to the community.
Thank you. Any further comments? No, in that case, I'm going to put it to the vote. All those in favour, it's carried unanimously. And now we're going to move on to, there's nothing under economic environment. We're going to move on to governance, and it's item 11.1, proceeds of property disposal, the summary report. Who would like to move this one?
I'm happy with that, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman Slade, and a seconder.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alderman Mark. Sorry, I saw Alderman.
That's right.
First. Okay, who'd like to discuss it?
Okay.
Alderman Slade?
Okay, Mayor. Mayor, with this new system, I must admit it's a bit, I think everybody said it, but we wanted this new way of doing our, I suppose, our workshops, in this case here, our council meetings, and the way it's laid out with agendas and accompaniments. Full credit to your CEO and to the coordinator of governance. It's a top effort there, and really is easy to do. And I know with a bit more, twinging here and there, it'll be excellent. Here we have a situation here simply that there's adoption here, proceeds of relation of disposals policy here, outflow here at the current balances, the two reserves, the recommendations that we receive in notice report. I'm quite happy going through the attachments that fulfills the mission of what that recommendation is about, and I move that way, Mayor.
Thank you. Any further discussion? No, that being the case, I'll move the motion, put the motion, and that is supported unanimously. Thank you. And then we're moving on to the information disclosure policy. Can I have a mover for this one? Thank you, Alderman Marks, and a seconder. Thank you, Alderman Slade. Alderman Marks, would you like to open debate?
No, it's just that we should accept this policy in its entirety. It's really detailed and informative, and I think it will help the public understand what we can disclose and can't disclose in our council works.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, anyone else?
Oh, Mayor, it's important just that we're upfront as any other council. It's important that in any information disclosure policy, just how we go about assessing disclosure information in accordance with Right to Information. The Right to Information Act is a strong act there for integrity and honesty for an organisation. Its policy was last amended on 2021 as part of that, as you read it in the documents. And it's important to just refresh me, somebody can. Who is the Right to Information Officer?
Through you, Mayor. It's currently our governance officer.
Yes.
Governance section.
Yes.
And backed up by our legal officer and senior legal counsel who do the reviewing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks very much. I missed that somewhere. Okay, so under those circumstances, Mayor, what we're doing here is we're just make sure everything is in sync, which is current practice, and I support it going forward as best practice.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Alderman Marks, would you like to sum up? No? In that case, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, raise your hand. Carried unanimously. Now we move on to item 11.3. 11.3.
There's no information.
Okay, this is the end of financial year capital work status report, another great document. And who would like to move this one? The deputy, thank you. And seconder, Alderman Alderton. And take it away, Jeff.
Thank you, Mayor. Through you, obviously it outlines the end of the year capital works program, which we've had a budget of 33.555 million with expenditure of 29.346. So we were a little bit under that expenditure. So I've just got a question just around that with the 92% that was expenditure, is that a word? Spent. Spent. Obviously, we would like to try and get to the 100% as much as we possibly can, and that's been the commitment that we've had for for a number of years now. So, and I mentioned in the report just around it was around the Ashbourne Grove works that weren't quite complete. Is that effectively the only reason? I just wanted to check in. That was all.
Mayor, that was quite a big project and probably did extend out, but it continues into this financial year, so we still will complete it. It's just that it will span financial years. It's probably not the only project, because during the year we have things that pop up that might, cause a delay. Pardon me. Or contractor availability. So we do move things around to try and put other jobs in their place. So but we aim to try and spend 100%. That's possible. Sorry.
That's right. Otherwise, open up for discussion.
Thank you.
Mayor, my only one on this, I'm not being a narc on this one, but of course it's such, we're talking about money. I don't understand price. We've got our attachments there. I know, I fully understand this model we're doing for the new style, but I just wondered for these ones like this, that we could just put that into the executive summary, just those couple of amounts, that's all. Only because I think we're talking about big bucks, and I just think it looked good to be in there, rather than just say to receive a note at the end of financial year capital works report, but we actually got it in there as well, apart from the attachments to what we're talking about, that's all.
Just to clarify, so where we finished up at the end of the year with our grant funded and recurrent in the executive summary. So
just that very minute CEO, but I just think for something like this here, I just think it just needs to be a little bit more sync, and that's only my opinion, but I just think that would make it be more neater and perhaps a little bit better governance there. Happy to do that. Okay, thank you.
So now it's Alderman Alderton.
Thank you, Mayor. What I think is also important while we're talking about this report is just to make note, and I'm going to read from the report again, what we've actually spent the money on and what our achievements have been. So what we've done in our current projects is we've Benjafield childcare renovation has been completed, the council chambers renovation stage 2 completed, Lutana Woodlands play space completed, Battersby Drive play space completed, Corinda Reserve play space completed, Rosemead Primary School play space completed, Brent Street playground renewal completed, KVG 5 buildings completed, North Chigwell buildings as part of the soccer redevelopment, the Tolosa Dam rehabilitation that's been completed, the Jackson Street landfill cell extension, and the Glenorchy Memorial Pool contract awarded, and the project's commenced. I think it's important that we communicate that when we're doing these type of reports, so the community actually know where the money we're talking about is actually being spent.
Thank you. And Alderman Redland.
Yes, for you to the CEO, just on para 5, on what Alderman Slade was just talking about, it would probably be better when we got the current year figure and then in brackets the previous year figure, rather than write another 2 sentences. So the comparatives there, because we do that with the graphs on that. So I just think maybe just for brevity purposes, just put the comparative in a bracket, or put the whole lot into a mini table. Just makes life easier to read. Especially as the community, as it's in open council, the community can read this, and I think that's important that we make it so it's easy to understand. Other than that, I'm quite pleased with that layout, actually.
Okay, thank you.
If I can have another grab here, I don't want to return to the full writing of how we used to have this, but I just think it's important to have some figures in there, and that's what I was coming from, which I think, I'm not being rude to around the table, that would suffice for the requirements of our community.
So thank you. Through you, Mayor, we're going to ask for some feedback at the end of the meeting because it's the first time we've run this sort of agenda, but no, happy to take that.
Going well.
Thank you.
Can I just, while we're on this, Mayor, is moving on to the other alderman, but if you leave your page open, it drops back to the first page. So I'm on 160 or whatever, and next thing, turn around and back to page 1. Is that?
No, mine hasn't.
No.
No,
Only you.
Yeah, only you.
Yes,
Oh,
we'll get that attended to.
All right. Okay, thank you.
I was just going to say thank you very much to Alderman Alderton for reading out those projects because a lot of people online would not be aware of the things we've done. And there's a whole series, I'm just going to ask the Deputy if he'd like to read them out. It's on page 163.
Okay.
There's a whole series of capital program expenditure just on the roads alone. So it just shows how busy we've been.
Yeah, there's a number. State with Ashbourne Grove, which we just talked about, Ashbourne Grove reconstruction, Renfrew and Circle reconstruction, Main Road, Granson Shed Path, Corambi Street footpath, June Street footpath, Albert Road reseal, Barossa Road reseal, Mentmore Street intercity cycleway upgrade, Grove Road and Anfield Street intersection upgrade, Kensington Street school crossing, KG5 pedestrian crossing, Bayswater Road curb ramps, Bowden Road, Bowden Street to Terry Street footpath realignment, Claremont Skate Park, Windermere Bay Boardwalk and Bridge, Berrydale Foreshore public toilet replacement, Shandos Drive stormwater upgrade, Abbotsfield Park stormwater replacement, Ferryden Road overland flow access.
And bear in mind, this is just a thank you for reading that. There's a couple of, 2 pages there of some of the activities we've done. So I think we're a very busy and industrious council, and I'd like to again say thank you very much to the teams who are behind all of this hard work. Okay, and so now I need someone to move, we've moved that, someone to sum up. Yes?
Yes, thank you. There's nothing more to say, except again, like you say, well done to all the team, getting it all done. It's great.
Okay. Okay, if there's no further discussion, raise your hand please if you support that motion, and it's carried unanimously. Now, item 11.4 is the distribution of building and plumbing plans policy. An exciting one. Who'd like to move this?
I've got no problem, Mayor. I'll be to move it.
I'll second.
Look, as I went through it, again, if you read the attachments, and I'll get quicker reading them, as we've got this new process in front. The main difference here is that, quite obviously, every 3 or 4 years, is that there was this issue here of copyright infringement. So now that's now covered, is my understanding of reading the documents. So anything new like that should be in the policy, it's now encompassed in the policy. We now come together that we as a decision maker is going to say yes or no to it. And along those lines, I'm happy following up from what's been added, that it's appropriate recommendation with the as listed.
I'm just going to clarify that Alderman King seconded that. Thank you for that. Any further discussion? No? Oh, Alderman Alderton.
Just a question to the CEO, Mayor. Will these changes speed up the process, CEO?
Mayor, no, it's not to speed up the process, but given that there's copyright laws in place, we're not supposed to share or allow other people to view the plans because they're someone else's intellectual property. So this allows us to share them where we need to with other authorities like Taswater or somewhere like that might need to look at the plans. So that's what this is about. Just basically, if you submit a plan to us, you're allowing us to share that plan with whoever else needs to see it.
So we've finished copyright.
So, Alderman Slade, do you need to sum up?
Look, all I was going to sum up was I just found this one could be complicated because it's something new. Will this be easily conveyed downstairs when somebody comes in or whatever and are told, unfortunately, you can't? That's everybody's up to tune.
Yes, through you, Mayor. It's been in place for a while.
Good.
And we quite clear.
And now just putting it in and signing off on the policy. No worries. Thank you.
Thank you. So in that case, I'm going to put that motion. All those in favour, raise your hand. It's carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 11.5 is the Audit Panel Chair's Annual Report 2024 to 25. And who do we have on that Audit Committee? Alderman Riddler and yourself. So would one of you like to move it?
I'm happy to move it there, even though I wasn't there for the full year, but,
I don't know.
All right.
Councillor Fairbairn.
Yep, I'll second.
Thank you. Right, so Alderman Riddler, do you want to take the lead or do you want to give it?
I've attended 3 out of the last 4 meetings, but, one thing I will comment on is it's the, chair's, he finishes up next meeting. We've actually brought it forward by a week. So I can chair the last meeting, and I think it's the 28th of November, is that right? Yeah. And we need to advertise, I assume, through you, Mayor, to the CEO for a new independent member, is that correct? And we should get that underway shortly.
So with the, sorry, if I might refer to,
There was a proposal that was accepted that we extend the terms to 4 years. And I believe they're now talking to the chair whether he wishes to take on that.
Oh, so it's 3 years at the moment?
It was 3 years. It's been moved to 4 years. And that proposal's been, I think, being brought forward for consideration.
Has council formally ratified that to 4 years?
It's gone out to the audit panel who have agreed, and it's coming to a future council meeting. So it may be that his term is extended. If not, it will be the normal process, which is advertised.
So, thank you.
Question for me, will that coincide with our term of election? It's going to go for another year, and it's almost October now.
Tracy, you have a chance there?
That was the intent. There was also, through you, Mayor, a survey of the other councils, and we were reviewing the remuneration as well as the terms to then bring ourselves in line. They hadn't actually been looked at for 7 years now.
Yeah, the remunerations, it's a joke to me what they get paid for what they do, but that's another question. But the thing is, if it's going to line up, is that going to cause a problem for new council? They're going to have to organise. Well, it used to be several aldermen that interviewed the potential candidates, but I don't know who does that now.
Through you, Mayor, we normally put together, we go out and advertise, we bring back and we have a shortlisting.
Yep.
We then bring that to council to have a look at a workshop with a recommendation, and then we interview the shortlisted candidates, and we invite the audit panel elected members to sit in and participate on that interview process if they wish. If they don't wish, that's also okay.
All I'm getting is we might have a new audit panel by the end of this, or come up, which is fine. But it's just, it won't flow over.
Thank you. Alderman Marks?
Yeah, I actually attended the last audit panel meeting, and just let you know that the chair specifically said in that meeting that he is not coming back, he is retiring.
Through you, Mayor, whether he said that because at the time he was retiring, or whether it was just purely based on the term, the contractual end, not sure, but either way, we'll adopt the normal process.
Thank you.
Can I say something that's based on the 3 years, was going to finish in at the end?
No, that was him saying that
Yes,
he wanted to retire because he was moving. I think he's moving over to mainland.
I was
Okay, so that'll be resolved before in the audit panel. Debbie, did you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. Ed, yes, Alderman?
Yeah, I just asked a question. I was trying to look through the documents. The 2 occasions it's got mentioned, Wisewater, Ferguson, Crow representatives were involved in relation to parts of it. Well, I couldn't see what Crow did.
Crow, I think they've got one outstanding report.
Have they?
That we're just waiting on delivery of.
Right.
They were going to assist with the fleet. I think, given the scoping that WLF undertook on the fleet management
Yes,
audit report,
yes,
it may have been de-scoped from Crow,
yes.
but we normally try and invite both
Okay,
to undertake it. Moving forward, we have a total of 5 auditors, internal auditors. Now, we've recently just gone out to market. The term of the appointments was ceasing.
yes,
And we've just gone out to market and tendered, and we have now a panel of 4 or 5 internal auditors that we can use moving forward for the next 5 years.
Okay. Mayor, thanks, I'm happy that. I think it's very interesting, the subjects happening in the present moment, especially at governance levels, whether or not the necessity for internal audits versus external audit, and just having internal controls or internal, I suppose, just when you require them to do something. So I thought it was very fascinating reading that on my latest governance information and brochures and books I'm reading. So I'd be very interested to see what the board or the audit panel here and come to. But I just think there seems to be a bit of a trend, and I'll be interested to see and proceed, or to see what the process is with that down the track. So, okay, because at the end of the day, the external auditor is the one that gives the royal stamp. The internal audit's more, in the engine room, getting particular jobs done as outlined there. But I just want to raise that that we've got to be part of a moving feast, and if things move that way, don't be surprised. But yeah, thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Any further comments? I think it should provide our residents with another layer of comfort that despite our absolute confidence in the governance that we supervise with our staff, that we have another layer, which and then even that has a layer. So it's a great deal of comfort. But however, we are dealing with significant funds, and they are ratepayers' funds, so you would expect that layer of governance. So, Alderman Riddler, do you want to sum up?
The only other thing I'll say is that independent member Rick Sandy did make a comment the day after we lodged our annual report accounts with the Auditor General that we had that we can't change now, but will next year, is there's some very sundry amounts on the balance sheet, like $6,000. So that we, Michael, our CFO, will incorporate those into an aggregate somewhere else. So we haven't got, we've got talking millions of dollars of everything, and then you see $6,000. So I appreciate Rick's point. He picked it up. He said it's totally insignificant, but we should streamline the balance sheet. And unfortunately, and I've checked, we can't change the date that we have to lodge those accounts with the Auditor General. They're fixed in statute. So we stuck with that. It was unfortunate the audit meeting was the next day, Amelia. Yeah, and we couldn't go back and reverse it.
Right.
So that's the only minor change for the future. So that those little sundry amounts will be probably put into a miscellaneous aggregate total somewhere, which will be of insignificance.
Thank you.
Because it'll be pluses and minuses.
Okay, so I'm going to put that to the vote. All those in favour, raise your hand. Carried unanimously. And now we move on to the financial performance report for the 31st of August 2025. Who would like to move this one, please?
I'm happy to, Matt.
Thank you, Alderman Slade. Thank you, Deputy.
And CEO, I'm not no smarty, but how the CFO is outlined in the executive summary, that's what I was alluding to. I mean, the documents are all there. You can go through them. It's, really good to read each area and whatever, in respect to income and expenditure. I like that little bit of a summary that he does at the top there before the actual recommendations that we receive. So that's all I was talking about. In this case here, good result is saying there, second month. So you can grab that very quickly after you read the documents. So you're really going back over it again, which I think is a really good thing when you're checking it. And then, of course, he puts the favourability points there and whatever, and the results, and then asks us, do we receive noted? I've read it, I've done that, I agree with the executive summary, and I move this recommendation accordingly.
Thank you. So now, I think we'll put that to the vote.
Oh, no, my friend.
Oh, sorry. Alderman Riddler.
I do like the style that was written in there, but I did mention this to the CEO before that I like exception reporting. So when I was the CFO for the old telecom, the state manager said, look, I'm not interested unless the variance is more than 5%. And we used to do one-liners, and it was all summarised for the whole state on one page. And unless it was more than 5%, then if it was 5% or more, there was a one-line explanation. It's short and brief. I agree with Alderman Slade. It's just got to be easy to read and understand. So maybe that's something we can develop over time, because that way, you know, to read the thing that says expenditures 2.581 compared to a budget of 2.192, well, we could round all that off. You know, it's not really relevant to we're going to the thousands, if you like.
And we appreciate that you have skills some of us around the table don't have.
Sorry, I missed it.
I said we appreciate the fact that you have training and skills that some around the table might not have, but I think it's still very important that all our aldermen read their papers.
It's more a simulation of facts, because we are working to a budget. That's what it's basically all about, and the minor variations are insignificant.
Yep, thank you for that. Okay, any further discussion? Thank you, Deputy.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I think obviously a good start to the year, so well done to the team. And I'm probably a little bit on the other page than Alderman Riddler. I like the detail. I like to see that we're up 0.1 or 0.2. I'll take any gains. I think it's probably more important that the community can read this and see, you know, facts and figures. You don't necessarily have to read or have an understanding of the table, but you can kind of read through and get a good understanding that we are doing the right things with the ratepayers' funds.
Any further? Yes, Alderman Slade.
I just want to say, Mayor, that if you didn't have a background in finance and you took your time to read that report and took your time reading it, then came back and said, yeah, I think I've got it, and then look at the executive summary to what this person's picked out, it's going to sink very quickly.
Yes.
And to me, that's good governance, and I think it's put together very, very well. And I certainly commend him through the director there, Deputy CEO, that be mentioned, and I recommend that as a format to be considered as above each recommendation where there's a lot of finance involved.
Okay, that's your summing up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to put that motion to the vote. All those in favour, carried unanimously. Now, item 11.7 is notices of motion, questions on notice or without notice. Do we have any? No? Okay, now we're going to have a formal motion tonight before you jump the gun.
All right, formal motion.
Yes, is that the meeting be closed to the public to allow discussion of matters that are described in Regulation 15 of the Local Government Meeting Procedures, Regulations 2025. And I would like Alderman King, you're going to move it?
No. Yes.
Thank you, Alderman King. Who would like to second it? Alderman Alderton. And any discussion? No. Well, obviously, Mr. Steenbergen, this means that we are now officially closing the meeting. We thank you for your attendance as usual and your diligence. Thank you. Yes, so all those in favour, raise your hand. Carried unanimously. And we'll hopefully see you again during the month at our open council meeting and again for next month's meeting.